Hi guys, welcome back. As you can see, I'm blinding myself with my camera phone flash because there's not much sun coming through the window at this present time, unfortunately. I can happily say that the Tornado is all done now. Final bit of construction has been done, decaling's been done, and she's sealed. She's turned out okay, not too bad, with a few flaws that I'm about to explain. But here is the final reveal. And as you can see, she's freestanding on the landing gear, which I'm really chuffed with that, because when I glued the landing gear on originally last night, I wasn't sure if they was going to hold, and I also wasn't sure if it was going to tip on its back, even though there's 15 grams of weight in the nose. But it's turned out really nice freestanding, because as most of you know, the models that I've done, like the Viper, or the Vipers I should say, and Airwolf, I've always done them in flight mode. So this is the actual first model I've done with the landing gear out. Now, when I left you, I just finished the camo and about to start decaling. As you can see by that immense guide there, huge guide it was, and I had to tick each one, as you can see, so I knew where I was on the plans. It took me a couple of hours a day after getting home from work to do it, but I managed to get it done in the end. Now I'll start on the front vents here. You got this square decal here. Now that wasn't a complete decal. It wasn't like a border decal where it's cut off in the middle. It's got one complete decal that's there and there. Then you got this lining decal all the way back there and down here, and then a line decal, as you can see, that goes round and hits the air brake ducts, as it were. Went all the way round. You can probably just make them out on this side here. And it took me a while to get those straight, but eventually I managed to do it. It took a while, a long time. I think a couple of hours to get all those done. Whilst just after I finished those, I then got the line decal here going round there and up here. I don't think you can make it out. Or you can probably just make it out on that side there. But there's just like that one, there's a line decal all the way around. Again, it took me a while to get those straight. And I think all in all the top decals took me about 3 hours to get on. Then you had some really small decals. You got that one there. There's a number 2 decal, a yellow number 2 on there. Very tiny indeed. Then you got the RAF decal there. Now on each wing as well, there's loads of no step decals. I think there's 10 or 12 on each side. So I'll put the ones on there, the ones there, and the ones there. Then going back to the back wings, there's some no step decals on there as well, and those that you can just make out those little yellow dots. Those are number 2 decals, and they're very tiny. Then you got the no step decals on there, just like on the other side, and you got your warning decals as well. And if you remember from my last video, I just smashed that off. So I've painted that in the gunmetal from the Army Painter, that little replacement bottle I got when the can for the Pegasus was broken. And if I just turn this round slightly, I've also done the exhausts. Now what I did is I mixed some of the gunmetal with some metallic copper to get like a burnt effect. It's gone down really nice. Not too bad at all. So I'll just turn the Tornado over. And you can see as well, I've done the bottom with that Army Painter gunmetal. Then I started on the underneath for the decals. As you can see, there's very small decals there, and you've got these striped decals here. Now those were individual decals, so there's 6 on that side and 6 on that side. I had to get them straight as possible as well. They're not perfect, but they are as straight as I can possibly get them. Then you've got these warning decals here, and then you've got this slightly circle decal there. I'm not sure if that's some kind of pitch guide for when these back wings go up and down. I don't know, maybe. Then you've got the registration decals on the back there as well. Again, with a microset and microsol. It's done its job. You can just make them out on the other side as well. Now came mounting the missiles on the final construction. The holes underneath those I had to make them slightly bigger, but I managed to get them in the end. But I had to use super glue, because when I used my normal model glue, they kept tipping to each side. They just wouldn't sit still. So I used some super glue, and it's gone down really, really nice. And then you got that missile there and that missile there again. But I had to drill a hole for those because there wasn't one pre-drilled, so I had to drill one. But they've gone eventually. And you got that RAF decal underneath there. And that little small decal there. There's a couple of small decals, but you can't see them because of the missiles. Then you've got these 3 rockets here. Very easy to mount indeed. They're just clipped into place because there was some little notches going down, and those act as a clip. So I just ran some glue underneath, clip those into place. Very, very easy indeed. Then you've got the landing gear itself. There's a little recessed mounting squares, rectangular section in there, so you just push that into place. And as you push that into place, I had to drill a hole there and there for the landing gear, and then push that into place, and then ran a bit of glue around that, and then there's another bit of glue around this section here. And then as you can see, for these rods here, I had to drill another hole both sides and mount those into place, and they've dried really, really strong. Again, I'm really chuffed on how she's sitting on the landing gear, because I wasn't sure whether she would or she'd be like lopsided, but perfect. Then came the front landing gear. Again, a little recessed rectangular section for mounting. Just push it into place, and the glue dried really, really nice. Now, you can also make out, which I'll explain again in a moment, about the floors. You can see there's like especially on the green missiles, this like dusty effect, because I tried a new can of sealant, which I'll explain in a moment. At first it went down really nice, but as it dried with a dusty effect. Not as bad as the Citadel Purity Seal. Now, turning the Tornado back over, being very, very careful indeed. Then I mounted the side decals. Before I explain that, there's 2 variants. There's the GR1 and the GR1A. I think I've done it to GR1. Let me just check. Just moving the plans. I've done the GR1A, as you can see. Now with the GR1, you can see it's like the Saint logo that was Simon Templar. But I didn't do it to that. I did it to the other side, because the other variant, the GR1A, because I like this sword and shield logo. But as you can see, the GR1's is all sectioned off, and then there was another section for the GR1A. So I went with the GR1A. These decals were fairly easy to mount. You got your regimental squadron badge there. You got the various warning decals and the rescue decal, and you got them on the canopy as well. Then this section here, I painted that in grey, the gunmetal to bring out the actual cannons. But they went down really, really nice. Now, if you look closely, you can just make out, especially on this back wing section here, there's like a dusty white effect, because I went with a new can of sealant. Now originally I was going to use the Citadel Purity Seal, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something different. Now after reading reviews about this stuff on the internet, Plastikote in the matte, it's acrylic based, but it stinks to high heaven, and it's got a funny cap which you twist and then that comes out. It's not like your generic spray nozzle, but that stuff it's good stuff, not bad, but it stinks to high heaven, so you will have to do it outside. But as you can see, it went down perfect, even though I did go a bit heavy on the top. It went down perfect originally, but after a couple of hours of drying, you can see the white residue, especially on the RAF decal there, and the badge regimental thing on the side there. It's a shame, but model making, as you know, is all about experimentation. So I might have to go back to Humbrol's Clear Matt, which is going to cost me £5 a can for a 150ml can, so it's pretty much going to cost me the same as the pure, it's still £10. But all in all, I'm happy on how she's turned out. Now finally, the canopy. As you remember, the canopy is in two sections, so I glued with the micro crystal clear, glued it down, brushed it on with this brush, went round, pushed it down. I also give the glass on the inside a bit of a clean with my cotton bud to get rid of my paw prints. But it's dried down really, really nice. This micro crystal clear, it dries, it goes on like PVA glue, like the white, but it dries clear and it's gone down really, really nice. It's the first time I've used that. Then I put the front section on, again with the micro crystal clear, but I was moving it around as it was drying to make sure it's perfect on both sides. But it looks really, really nice. So, with your canopies, get any clear canopies, get this stuff. And finally, you got the actual nose sword, as I like to call it there. I left that till final construction. Well, final everything. Because if I'd have put that on before, when it told me to, it'd have snapped. So like I said, I just spray painted down the black primer and glued it in. But there she is, guys. All standing as well. Loving it. Apart from the Plastikote finish, I'm quite chuffed on how this model has turned out, seeing as it was made in '95. Now, blinding myself again with my flash, I'm going to put some stills on the end of this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and I haven't bored you too much, and the other set of videos I've done for the Tornado. And hopefully see you very soon, and thank you very much for watching.